Coming at you from the French Riviera, I'm here at Monte Carlo / Monaco. Got a very interesting vlog for you this week, all about my amazing experience in the south of France on the French Riviera at the Cannes Film Festival. But it all began 2 weeks ago, back in Melbourne. Long journey, it's almost over. Here we go. Cannes Film Festival. It's something that's on a lot of filmmakers' bucket lists. It certainly was on mine, but I didn't think I'd be going for many years from now. Turns out I'm going. I've got 4 projects to pitch. I've got a long journey ahead of me. I'm at Sydney now. I'm about to go to London and then on to Nice and then on to Cannes. So yeah, who wants to go to Cannes? Well, I've made it here to Cannes. It was a long journey. It's very beautiful here, but I haven't really had a chance to see it yet. To be honest, I don't really know what to expect from this. But my first stop is to go, have a nap, wander back into town. So here we go. I honestly can't believe I'm here. It's been a whirlwind of 10 days, constant meetings, movie watching, networking, parties, cocktail events, physical energy walking up and down the strip here, mental energy because you're talking to people constantly and being in that constant social buzz mode. Coming to Cannes was something I never really thought I'd do. I thought maybe in the pipeline somewhere I'd eventually do it, but I thought it's probably 10 years away. And then my producer friend, Judd Tilliard, who's producing a couple of my features, said, you really should come to Cannes and see what it's all about because if anything, you'll just learn the process. And honestly, that is what has happened. Not only does it feel like it's handy to know, it almost feels like it's essential as a filmmaker to know some of the process behind all these deals and networking events that happen. Everyone's very open. I think because you've come all this way, no matter what event you're at, I've found that people are very accessible, and if you get along with someone, you'll keep talking. You might bump into them again at a function the next night, and it becomes this little, village community for 2 weeks. There's a casualness about it that I think makes it very difficult when you're in your own country. Everything seems so formal and business-like. To get a meeting with someone at a production company would be pretty hard in your home city. But here, that's what everyone's here to do, and it doesn't hurt that you can do it holding a glass of rosé or champagne. So the first big thing I would say about coming to Cannes is find someone you know who's been before, who can act as sort of a manager of sorts, or a PA or an assistant. I had someone called Liz Tompkins writing a lot of emails and making phone calls for me in the lead up to Cannes. It's hard to get here and secure meetings while you're already here because everyone books out about a month in advance. So Liz made all those emails for me ahead of time and made it sound like I was somebody worth meeting just because she was introducing me. So just having that middleman helping you break the ice makes you seem a little bit more professional. Everything here happens through connections, A lot of the most important interactions I've had have been people who've just said, hey, you should come along with me now and meet this guy. That's the best thing. I'm gonna walk away from this with probably, 20 people that I really enjoyed chatting with and that I'll keep chatting with further after we all get home. One big unknown that I had before coming was the layout of the place. I couldn't really picture where I'd be, but now I know it like the back of my hand because I've been walking up and down constantly. The basic layout of the place, it all revolves around the Palais. The Palais, I think, year-round is a casino / function center, and the big red carpet gala screenings happen there. I got to see the premiere of Solo, a Star Wars story, which was amazing, being in the same house as Donald Glover, Alden Ehrenreich, Ron Howard, Emilia Clarke. They were all there watching the same movie with me, which is a real thrill. And just underneath the Palais, you have the marketplace, which is 3 floors of market stalls from film distributors, probably thousands of movie posters. When I first walked in, I was amazed. It was kind of like being at Disneyland. On the one hand, it scared me a little that there's so much competition and so many films out there in the market being sold at festivals like this. But on the other hand, it made me realize there are so many films out there, there's definitely got to be room for more. That was a real eye-opener, seeing how sales agents meet distributors and meet buyers at these festivals. I've worked with a sales agent before on a couple of projects, but I've never seen firsthand what they do, so it's a really important cog in the machine. And then opposite the market, you have the international pavilions. Almost every country has a little tent set up where you can organize meetings. It's kind of like a little mini UN. Every country is represented here, and you can meet all sorts of people just by saying, hey, do you know any Canadians, or in my case, do you know any Scottish producers? Because I'm trying to talk to some Scottish producers about a particular project. And I did. I probably met 6 or 7 Scottish producers that I had a great time with, and I'm sure very fruitful things will come from. And the other major component to the way the festival works is the hotels, which are up the other end of the Croisette, which is the big main strip. And the hotels are where a lot of other meetings happen too. Often people are sitting outside the Grand Hotel on these big blow-up white couches, having casual meetings, and you're allowed to just go there and sit down. Although I went up and ordered 2 waters at the bar and it was €20, which is about $30. There's so much decadence here, so many wealthy people coming from, you know, all over the globe just to be seen here. There is that side of it. There's sort of a glitzy, glamorous side where people are just here to schmooze, but I've found it generally to be a lot more genuine than that. Hey, the sun's out again. I'm actually at Monte Carlo Casino where they film Casino Royale. Definitely a place James Bond belongs in. I've taken some time away from Cannes to see Monaco, which is a €1.50 bus ride from Cannes. It only takes an hour, it's really worth doing. The views are amazing as the bus takes you along the coast. So if you need a chance to get away from the festival, I definitely recommend taking that ride and getting out of there and seeing a little more of Europe while you're here. How long till you get one of these, Judd?
Yeah, no, it's already on order, which reminds me, we have had to have a few budget cuts for the film.
That's very disappointing.
Hello.
I'm seeing so many scooters around, it makes me really want to get my scooter back on the road. Anyone who knows me knows that I've been saying that for so many years, but eventually one day, I might even do a video about that one too. I thought Cannes was lavish and extravagant, but Monaco is something else. Apparently you have to be a millionaire to live here. Very different side of the world to where I'm from, but it's very, very interesting to see how the other side live. Now, I didn't just walk into this unprepared. I came pretty prepared with a bunch of print materials. One was my business cards. I talked in my last vlog about how I don't really give away all the business cards. Well, I bought 50 of them here and I've given them all away. I gave my last one away yesterday. But I also went to Officeworks before I came and printed out 100 flyers. I have 4 projects going, so I printed 25 very small flyers for each project. It was pretty much $1 per page, and it's been super handy to have meetings and not just talk about them, but show them. Don't just walk in with a bunch of A4 black and white printed materials. Make sure you have something really dynamic and professional looking, just to make the most of the once in a lifetime opportunity, or once a year opportunity, I suppose, for a lot of people, that you're gonna have while you're here. Everyone has badges around their neck. I've got a festival badge, which is the orange one. This means that I didn't pay for it. Anyone can apply for a festival badge and it doesn't cost any money, but you have to be accredited by the festival itself. So you have to be a director or a producer or somebody with actual credits. And I don't think they do much to cross-check you, but the badge pretty much gets you into anywhere because you are a filmmaker. Mine has a little R on it. Some people have the market badge, and these are the buyers that go to the market to buy films, and they have to pay. It's hundreds of dollars to get a badge like that. But honestly, the free badge, the festival badge, pretty much gives you a lot of the same preferences. You can still go into movies, sometimes you have to wait for them, but you still get the movie allocations, you still get access to most of the events and functions. Some of the more private parties, you have to be on the list. There was an awesome Star Wars party after the screening of Solo, which I didn't get into, but I could tell from the outside it was gonna be amazing. There was the biggest fireworks display I've ever seen, like literally anywhere ever in the sky. It was enormous, all set to the Star Wars music, and you could peer inside and you could see all this Star Wars decor and memorabilia. It would have been so cool to be in there, but at the same time I was also super exhausted. I'm gonna go back one day when I'm celebrating my own Star Wars movie and have my own party. Until then, I've got a bit more networking to do. People are really here to work and make connections and make movies, you know, for the love of cinema. Everyone's here for the same goal and the same desire, and that's really nice. I thought it would be more debaucherous and scandalous and, you know, crazy parties going on, but, you know, it's just normal hangout stuff. A few drinks here and there, but mostly just chatting and having a great time. I've heard that it's a little quieter this year. It's the first year in the post-Weinstein era, so maybe that's affected it a little bit. Everyone's a little more reserved and being a little more cautious, but I've had a great time and haven't come across anyone with any sort of sinister agenda. That's good to hear, and it's made me want to go to more film markets around the world. I've heard Berlin's a good one, definitely want to go to Toronto, would love to go to AFM. Yeah, now that I've done this, I'm realizing I always thought it was a bonus, you know, something that filmmakers should probably do just to understand it all, but I'm kind of feeling now that it's a little more essential than that. It's not just a bonus. I think it's something that every filmmaker should really try and do if they can. So my main piece of advice as I wrap up is to bring those business cards, bring plenty. Next time I'm going to bring 100. Definitely bring printouts with your pitch materials on them. Definitely bring a tux or a gown. Make sure you're really dressed up because they will not let you into the nighttime screenings without being in completely formal wear. You know, you have to wear the bow tie, the whole thing. So bring that tux, bring that gown, make sure you're dressed and ready to go for those fancy events. Bring comfy shoes because you definitely start to feel the pain in your feet after just 2 days. And finally, get a temporary manager. Get a PA or an assistant who can make those emails for you, make those introductions introductions for you, and just make sure you make the most of your trip here. That's been my Cannes vlog. Hope you enjoyed and hope you learned a little something, and honestly I hope it's a little more open now, because it was very private, it felt very exclusive and something that was such an unknown that I really want to come here and help you decide whether or not you think this is something you should do as a filmmaker, although my recommendation is you definitely should. Thanks for watching, guys. Take care.